Hi, everyone. Welcome to the pal2tech show. I think you might have seen me just a second ago because I was playing around with the buttons, and I have a separate cam, okay, which I'll explain later on in the broadcast. It's a very important cam, but I was checking last second to make sure it worked. Anyway, welcome. This is episode number 1. Okay, I'm rebranding this thing. I used to call it Electronic Campfire. Oh, this stuff, it's going haywire. It wouldn't be a live stream if stuff wasn't going haywire. So, first of all, let's make sure I'm actually live. Okay. Whoa, David, how you? Thank you, David, for that super chat. Man, I really appreciate it. It helps out the channel. I really appreciate your support. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. How's everybody doing on this Friday, February 2nd, 2024? We have a great agenda today. In fact, we have not one, but 2 guests, if I can work the equipment. See? Hold on, I gotta fix that. Okay, there it is. Oh, man. One day I'm going to get this right. And then the show will be boring, right? Okay, so this is sort of a, I don't know if you've noticed. I mean, some of you newer viewers may not have noticed, but some of you that have been watching the channel for a few years, have you noticed a difference in the tone of the videos recently? Because I've just been having more fun here. You know, it's all about having fun. I mean, of course, teaching's important, but hold on one second now. We have a special guest that I'm going to introduce here. This special guest, well, all I can say is he is a new member of the pal2tech team, and he will be solely responsible for testing all, and I mean all, of the autofocus for Fujifilm products or anything else that I'm going to review. Folks, let me introduce you now to Pippen. Okay, let's put him over here. Okay, hold on. Okay, Pippen.
Here he is.
Okay, we have a Pippen cam. There's a
Where's Pippen cam?
Where's Pippen cam? Okay. Is that not working either?
I don't know.
Nothing works around here. Okay, so we got that cam.
Okay.
We have an overhead cam, kind of. Okay. Kind of. Pippen cam, I could probably do it with this.
Just which way should he be looking?
Well, the camera's right there. Okay. So
I don't.
Pippen.
Pippen. Stare at the camera.
Can you see? Can you? Hey there. Pippen has what is the eye color going on here? Let me move
Pippin's got one blue eye and one brown eye.
over.
And I don't think that it'll show up on the camera because he's just kind of like looking around. I don't think he understands what's happening.
Okay. Here, let's see if I can get Pippen Cam this way. No, Pippen Cam is out. It was on that XT.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let me see. Oh, I know what I can do. Here, hold on a second. There we go. There's Pippen Cam. There's Pippen Cam.
There he is. So
Pippen, welcome to the pal2tech team here.
he's like, okay.
Let me tell you something. Pippin's fast. And so testing autofocus, perfect.
Pippin is like, we say Pippin is part rabbit because Pippin is fast and leaps and is just super, super fast. You wouldn't know it now if Pippin's being super chill.
Yeah, definitely.
He's definitely full of energy. Right now he's, I think, a little overwhelmed.
See if we can get I'm going to do a close-up, and let's see if we can hold him
I'll do
up, and they can see the Pippin, look here. You know what I'll do? I have an idea.
Oh.
Pippin!
Nope, I think it's a little too much.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. He's like, I'm not digging this. This is a little weird.
All right. How old is Pippin?
Pippin
Let's
is
tell
9.5 weeks old.
9.5 weeks. Okay.
He'll be 10 weeks on Sunday.
Okay.
More than
weeks.
Almost 10 weeks old. Yes. Oh, yes, I love you too. Yeah. He's very sweet.
Oh, that's just too much cuteness for me to handle in one evening.
Pippin will be pal2tech security. We have him in training.
Yeah, I'll be guarding all the gear here. Not that any of it works.
Yes. Oh, hello, puppers. Yes, yes. I love you too. Okay. Yeah.
And I actually have another guest coming on the stream, but Pippin has preempted him. Sorry about that.
So, okay.
All right, Pippin.
All right.
Time for Pippin to go.
Pippin's going to go, but we're glad you guys had a chance to meet him.
Yep.
He's the new
autofocus tester. You'll be seeing a lot of Pippin.
Yeah.
You'll be seeing a lot of Pippin. Okay, thank you. Well, I don't know about you. My heart is just melted all over the floor. But okay, so that was Pippin, and a really positive, fun, wonderful thing that's come into the home. So, yeah. Okay, let's see who is here. We have, hey, Mr. Jarble. Thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Please send me a message. I have some teleprompter ideas to go over with you, okay, in Backstage. So, and for those of you that don't know, Backstage is sort of the backstage of pal2tech, where we hang out and we share photography tips and all of that good stuff. If you want to check it out, why don't you go to, I don't even know if I can work this equipment anymore. Here, yeah, go to Backstage, and it's located at pal2tech.com/backstage. I hate doing promotions. That's the only time I'm going to mention it. But yeah, check it out. It might be something you'd be into. We have a lot of fun over there. So, okay, before I continue, let me see who is here. I haven't even started looking at everybody. By the way, no more of these plastic bottles. Okay, I'm done with them. I'm getting more, environmental, and I matched the straw to my shirt. So, that's a thing, right? So, hello, greetings from the Netherlands. Hello, Marcel. Good to see you. Who do we have here? Oh, my goodness. Michelle White from New York City. Now, I was just in New York City with my daughter just a few days ago. And, I can't tell you enough. It is absolutely my favorite city in the world, ever, anywhere. And it was a very special trip. My daughter is turning 16. And I asked her what she wanted for her birthday. And she told me she just wanted one thing. She wanted to spend some time with me and to go to New York. So I took her to New York for a couple of days. And I decided, you know what? If you're going to be 16, we're going to do something a little more adventurous. So we scaled up kind of the side of the building. So let me show you this. All right. So we're flying to New York. Here we are right here. Okay, going to New York, pretty cool. And then what happened was you go up to the top of this building. It's like 100 stories up. and then you're just holding on with these rope things and you bend back over into nothing. I mean, it's not skydiving, but still, there's something very not natural about it, right? And there she is, and she was the first one to go. So I couldn't not go. I mean, right? If she's going, I gotta go. I mean, come on. So, and I did I did it twice. I did one version, this one where I was really nervous. It's kind of because you're letting go of the rope and you're pulling back and it's like, and you're like hanging off. And I mean, there's nothing below you at all, right? So I did that. And then I did a version where I said, welcome to Fast Friday. And that was in today's video if you haven't seen it. So I was able to get a video intro for it, which was pretty cool. Okay, we're going to check in with a few more people and then we are going to talk Fujifilm. I love that uncomfortable silence in a live stream. Okay, anyway, so, boy, we still have another super chat from pal2tech318. I know who you are. Thank you. Thank you very much. It does help out the channel. I got to tell you, YouTube is getting hard. And I'm not going to go the vertical video 60 seconds route. I'm not going to do that. So it's, you kind of get lost in the shuffle. So if you want to help the channel out, the best thing you can do, forget the money part. Just, give it the like and subscribe. You don't even have to give it the subscribe, just the like, okay? That'll really help out. YouTube sees that and they're like, okay, cool. People like his thing. Now, if you don't like it, click on it anyway. All right. So hello, everybody. Hello. Jim Fielder, good to see you. How's the audio okay? A couple of complaints about the audio. Is it all right? Is the audio okay? Okay. Let me know if the audio is not okay. I had to redo some of the settings right before I went live. So what I'd like to talk about is Fujifilm. And I'd like to kind of have this be a regular thing where I report to you what I think is important about Fujifilm going on. And yeah, and I think as photographers, it's important for us to kind of stay updated in this sort of thing, particularly with the gear that we have. So obviously, there is no better resource than Fuji Rumors. I mean, they seem to know what's going on with Fujifilm stuff before Fujifilm knows it. So one of the things that I ran across, which I think you might find interesting, is the fact that they are killing off the remote app. The remote app is dead. And they're going to now go with the Fujifilm X app. But the good news is, at least if the rumor is true, they're going to update that app for older cameras with a firmware update, I guess, for those older cameras or something. So that's a good thing. For anybody at Fujifilm watching this, please also continue to improve the app, right? Not just compatibility, but improve the usability of the app. That would be my wish list and request. There's a lot that can be continually improved. Okay. So then the second thing that's happening, which is interesting, is that there was a bunch of firmware updates, and normally I make videos talking about them. And there really wasn't much to talk about, but there was one interesting one that I was going to do for the 16 to 55 millimeter zoom lens. And lo and behold, have a look at this. Right here where it says overview, well, they've pulled the firmware, right? They pulled it off the website because there was a problem with it. So I hope none of you have updated your lens with that. If you haven't, don't. And just wait until they have a new version of it. Well, you can't now anyway, but if you have downloaded this and just didn't get around to updating it, don't update it, okay? So important stuff there. But the big thing, and I need your thoughts on this, the big thing that's going to be happening in just a few short weeks is the X Summit in Tokyo on February 20th, okay? And so this is really hard for me, and I'll tell you why. Because I kind of know already what's going to happen. And so I have a problem with facial expressions. Now, what I would like you to do is make your best guess. What do you think Fujifilm is going to launch at this X Summit? Okay? Is it going to be a new lens, a new camera, a new app, whatever? Throw it in the comments, okay? I want to take a look at it. The problem is my facial... I've signed an NDA. I mean, I cannot at all, even almost kind of hint on what I know. So what I did was I brought my XT5, and as I read through the comments, if I start to feel my face twitching, like you're going to get a tell off my face, I'm going to do this, okay? So, oh, that's really interesting. You think it's going to be a new 18 millimeter lens, right? Because I don't want to hurt my relationship with Fujifilm, and I mean, I have to do it. I signed an NDA, and I have to have it so that Fujifilm trusts this channel no matter what, right? But it's so hard because I really want to tell you, but I can't. But I want to see your guesses, okay? And let's see if you're right. All right, let's take a look at it right now. Boy, hold on. While you're doing that, jot it down. Hey, Devin, welcome. We got a new member here. Awesome. Devin, nice to see you. Make sure that you should have automatic access to the Backstage Discord server, but if you're having any trouble, let me know, okay? Excellent. Thank you for your support. All right. So what are you guys thinking about this? Oh, boy, am I seeing... Hey, Natalie, good to see you. Oh, boy. Okay. Well, it's very interesting what you're writing. Yes, it is. Okay. Oh, whoa. All right. So, yeah, we have the summit. I'm going to have a watch party. Now, I think the summit's going to be like, because it's Tokyo, I think it's going to be like at like 1 a.m. in East Coast United States time. So, yeah, I'm going to have to hit, Costco, Target, Kroger, whatever. I got to get some Red Bull, coffee, something to stay awake. Because when we did the watch party on the last live stream, it was so much fun. We were kind of making fun of the production of it, which I felt bad about, but it was really funny. We were having a great time. So we're going to do that again. And who knows, there may be some Fuji folks on the watch party, I hope. And Fuji, if you're watching this, you are absolutely 100% welcome. If you're not with Fuji, always be respectful and nice in the comments, okay? But put down great feedback because it does get read. It does definitely get read. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna do the watch party, and I will let you know the time, but you can put it in the calendar right now. It is Tuesday, February 24th is the date, okay? So we'll do it live. It'll be a lot of fun. All right. Okay, so now at this point, I think I'm supposed to have my guest dial in. Guest, dial in if you can. And let me see if we've got... All right, so what I'll do, because I have another guest actually coming on to the live stream, but while I am waiting, let's go over some channel updates, okay? So... as I said before, I really want this channel to be more fun. And that was something that I had lost last year in the grind and the pressure. It was around the time I was doing the XS20 review, and it wasn't fun. There was a lot of stress. It was all about getting the specs right and making sure that everything I said was drop dead accurate. And you definitely want to be accurate. I'm not saying I don't want to be accurate, but I wasn't having fun. And so the way that I've been doing it now, like breaking out the cereal, right? You saw that in the video. Just putting little slices of my life in there that I find fun and I want to share. And I'm starting to make the videos that I want to see, that if I wish that someone had shown me when I picked up my XT2 for the first time. So, that's the kind of thing that we're going to go for and we're going to continue doing. So that's number one. Oh, wait a minute. We got our guest coming in. I give this a 40% chance it'll work. Okay, let's give it a shot. Okie dokie. Oh, man. All right. We have, hey, all right. Now, there's Pete. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Pete Coco. Now, let's see if I can figure out how the hell to do that. Hey, I did it. Yeah. You don't understand. This is a big moment for me. This is big, okay? This is huge. Okay, now, we have one little problem. I can't hear Pete. So maybe I gotta do the. I forgot about the stupid audio. Can you folks hear Pete? Pete, say something.
Hey everyone, what's up?
Okay. Okay, I see an interview thing. What kind of idiot does a live stream like me and doesn't like think about audio? I totally forgot. Okay, test. Can you hear me? Pete, can you say something?
Hey Chris, how's it going, man?
I can hear you. Oh, okay. Awesome. All right. First off, before you say one more word, my friend, let me tell them who you are. Okay. Where am I? Okay. So Pete is, first of all, he racks huge points for me because he lives in New York. All right. Already he's Long Island. He's just by that alone. I mean, he could be the worst photographer in the world. But that alone, he's already at 4 stars just with that, okay? So he's got that going for him. He lives in New York. And he is a portrait photographer who takes amazing portraits. And not only that, he is also a writer and a contributor to F-Stoppers. So an awesome resource. So he does that. He has his own YouTube channel, okay? Instagram and all that other stuff. Now, I am going to leave links to everything that he has there that you can check him out. And I highly recommend checking his channel out. He shoots with Fujifilm. Let me show you if I can get this thing to work. I can't even get this mouse to work. The battery died. Oh, I'll use the trackpad. I can't.
We're already throwing things.
I'm already throwing things. No, I need to use the mouse. Okay. Oh, man. I need an assistant. Does anybody want to like come here and just help me do these live streams? Okay, so here is Pete's YouTube channel. Did I get this right? Yeah, all right. So 25 subs, pretty cool, pretty cool. You're going to get there, my friend. You're going to get there. And he also has a website. There it is right there, all right? And basically, first of all, Pete, do you just shoot Fujifilm? I mean, tell me about your portraits because, and did you send any photos I can pull up real quick or do you have any you could show?
Yeah, sure.
Because if I try and make it work, it'll be a disaster. But you look at how well he's framed his shot compared to me. I have this like, you all see this line sticking out of my head. Look at that. You see that? Look how awful that looks. But look at Pete. He's got this awesome light. It's not blocking anything. He's crystal clear. He's forgotten more than I know about scene setup. So take it away, Pete.
So, well, first of all, I have to say, Chris, that thank you so much for having me. Like, you have no idea what a thrill this is for me because you have been such an inspiration to me.
Oh, man, really?
Yeah, man. Like,
wow.
You're so amazing. And so when I started my YouTube channel, your channel was, and it still is, like a big inspiration to me. And like you were doing such amazing work, man. And I really, I appreciate it. So it's great to be here. It's very cool.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. A year ago, if you would have told me I'd be on your live stream, I'd be like, yeah, that's not gonna happen. But I really appreciate it. It's super cool. But yes, I'm a portrait photographer, and I live in New York. So I'm not in New York City. I'm on Long Island, as you mentioned, but I'm right outside of New York City. And so I do a lot of work in the city and a lot of work on Long Island. But I could show you if you want to check out. Can I share a screen here somehow?
Good luck to you there. I just don't
even see what happens. Let's see. This is just, I mean, I don't have anything really prepared, but I'll just show you my website. So this is, can you see
let's
it?
See it.
Nice.
Okay, wait, hold on a minute. What the hell does this say? Okay, wait. I don't see it on the thing. Let me see if I can click on this. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, try it now.
Okay.
Can you operate it now? Hold on.
You want me to unshare and then share again?
Oh, there we go. Wait, okay, try moving something around.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Oh my goodness, I'm actually getting this down. All right, take it away.
All right.
Look at
So
those headshots. Wow.
yeah, this is some of my work. So I use Fuji and I use Canon. Sorry, but primarily I'm using Fujifilm. So most of these, like this is a Fuji, this is a Fuji, that's a Fuji, that was a Canon. But I specialize in portraits, headshots, do on location work. I do a lot of corporate work. My favorite stuff is to photograph like artists and musicians, that kind of thing.
Oh, that's just, you have such a variety of looks. I mean,
Thanks, dude. And then I do like, traditional like headshots. I studied headshot photography with the great Peter Hurley. So I come out of his school of headshots.
okay.
And I do with the portrait stuff. I like to get, is there any more? I guess not. I like to do the more dramatic look. Like I love a lot of color and I love a lot of drama in the light. I've studied with, a number of different portrait photographers, but probably my biggest influence up till right now is a photographer in London named Ivan Weiss, who you should look up too. He's an amazing portrait photographer, one of the best. But those are like my two main influences.
Okay. Okay. Now if I can figure out how to get this.
Yeah, let me undo that.
Hold on.
There we go.
Oh, man.
Are you back?
This is oh, you just totally dropped off the stupid thing. Oh, man. Okay, wait. Your camera went dead. Okay.
Oh, no. I can still see myself in
there he is. Okay, can I add you like to the left or something? To add right? Oh, man, this is so embarrassing. We had it going, my friend. We had it going. All right, hold on a second.
Oh, well.
Okay, well, now we've switched. Okay. You know what? No more sharing the photos because I can't figure this out. All right, I'm already having... by the time I get to, maybe the pal2tech show 10, I'll have this figured out. Okay, so you were on the first one. So, all right. So future pal2tech, future Pete, isn't this funny to see right now? We were so crazy back then. So let me ask you something. Seriously, there was an article you wrote in F-Stoppers I want to talk to you about.
Okay.
And that is this one right here. Here's why AI headshots are great for photographers. Okay.
Right.
So I about fell out of my chair when I saw that because I think AI, I think photography, and I want to fall out of my chair, basically. So can you share with us the good? What is we all know the bad, I mean, obviously, but is there any good about AI in photography? Because there's a lot of fear about it.
Right. And if you talk to most photographers, especially headshot photographers and portrait photographers, they really are like freaking out about it and very, very worried about it. But I collaborated on that article with a friend of mine who is another photographer who lives in Arizona named Tony Tafe. And Tony had reached out to me and he said, I have some things that I see as positives about AI for photographers. And so I was like, okay, yeah, let's talk about it because everyone is so very discouraged about it. Mm-hmm. And so coming from looking at the positive, there are some things. Number one of the big things that I think people don't think about is large companies who invest millions of dollars into their marketing and into their teams. If you take those use those AI headshots, you don't own the rights to them. So that means they don't have the rights to their own images. So one of the big things he talked about, and we discussed that I put in the article, was the idea that, the big companies are not going to want to waive the rights to the images of their employees. Right. Right. It's a huge risk on many levels. And so I thought that was probably one of the best cases against it. The other thing is, it's definitely I feel like it's going to affect photographers, of course, right? Because every time there's this new technology, it affects people. People are going to lose work. But I think for photographers who are really doing something unique and special, it might actually help them in the long run because there's going to be less lower level choices. I don't mean that in a bad way, but say like, people who are just looking for like a $59 headshot, that I feel like they're the ones who are going to be more likely to say, oh, I'll just do an AI thing. But if you're working with people who really care about their professional image and all of that, and the experience, it might actually be a good thing for photographers. But of course, Chris, we have no idea, so could be completely wrong.
I have a membership or whatever it is to Chat GPT-4, right? And listen, I don't have a minute to spare around here. I mean, just dealing with this broken equipment. Right now, the preview monitor is out. It's just this blue glow. Okay, I have no idea. I can't even see myself. So I hope I'm on live. But I was thinking, okay, maybe it can make me a thumbnail. So I went to this Chat GPT, whatever the hell it is, typed in, here's my pal2tech logo. Can you make a nice thumbnail for my YouTube channel? And I ought to show these shots of what it spit out. They were really creepy. So I'm wondering, like, how could it be used for headshots? I mean, what would you do with it, right?
That's the thing for me. The main thing that I think about is, right, why does a picture, especially a portrait, why does it tell a compelling story? It's because you're capturing a human in a moment of time, right? Like, you're literally freezing an expression and you're capturing a glimpse into their soul, right? The eyes are the window to the soul.
Yeah.
So these AI headshots, you have dead fake eyes, and I think that's also
never thought of that.
Yeah,
the eyes.
Yeah, it's in the eyes a lot of times, and so I feel like that again is a big strike against it. Plus, like you said, a lot of it is still weird and creepy, and then you see all those AI pictures, right? Everyone has 6 fingers. It's like extra fingers growing up.
Yeah, and I said, make a Fujifilm camera for the pal2tech channel, and it made this, it was like Brendel fly, you know what I mean? like it went into the, Jeff Goldblum went into a chamber with a Fuji cam and came out the other end. It was the weirdest. You know what? I'll show it as like extras on the next video. I'll stick it at the end so you guys can see it, but I don't have it right here, and I'm sure as hell not going to try and figure this equipment out now. So it's creepy. I mean, it's just creepy looking. And portraits with, I mean, you're right. Eyes are everything, and there's just a deadness to it right now, the way it is. But do you think it's going to get to the point where it's going to cross over that and not be like that?
Maybe. I don't know. That's a great question. I think though that, just like people are spending hundreds and thousands and millions of dollars on records right now, right? So I think if it does take over and really like decimate the industry, which I hope of course doesn't happen, then what we do as portrait photographers can become like this really important niche thing that then appeals to people who have like I could think of like an uber wealthy person, and they're like, well, I don't have AI headshots. I had a real photographer. Like, a real photographer, like one of the 3 that are left,
Right.
I hope that doesn't happen, but
it does. It's weird. It looks like someone stepped into a transporter beam in Star Trek, but the transporter beam broke, didn't have enough power, and so it reassembled them weird, right? It's just weird.
Yeah, that original doctor on the Enterprise that came up all mixed up.
Right.
McCoy in Star Trek 1.
What we got back didn't live long, thankfully, Right. Now, here's what bothers me, Pete, and tell me what you feel about this. The whole point, unless I'm crazy, the whole point of tools like a microwave oven or a computer, okay, or technology of any kind of technology, is to do something mundane so we don't have to do it, to speed things up, to do it better in a lot of ways. Right. So that, guess what? Our time gets freed up so that we could really experience life. And it's weird for me that it's kind of going in the direction of taking over art or poetry, or it's not just photography, I mean, or writing music, Yeah. It's doing the things that humans normally they used to offload to machines all that other boring stuff so they could do the enrichment stuff, the exciting arts, the passionate stuff. And if the machine shouldn't be doing that is kind of how I feel about it. I don't know. Maybe I'm old fashioned, but
no, I 100% agree. And I think
I don't know.
No, it's so strange too, right? Like that's exactly it, because they sell all of the technology as well. We're going to live in a utopia where you can explore like higher up pursuits. But the first thing that AI started cutting into is all of these artistic pursuits, graphic design, photography.
Right. Why is that? I mean, I don't mind if AI can operate a machine and take out my spleen. Okay. I mean, I don't know if I want to still, or fly a plane or design something, but write a piece of music about lost love, because I just know inherently that the computer has never experienced that. Right? When you hear a song, say by John Lennon or any other kind of a musician, where they're speaking from, say, experience, and AI doesn't have any experience to speak from, and art comes from experience. I'm getting too worked up, sorry, but I don't know, man. The AI creeps me out in some ways.
And all the AI does is take our cumulative experiences, right, and regurgitate it. That's all it can do. Because it can't a new experience. And this is another issue that is, I know a lot of photographers I think there's some lawsuits going on. I'm not read up on this part of it, but basically you want to make an AI image of whatever, it's going to pull all of the billions of images that are out there made by real photographers. So it's still just basically stealing, from what real people have made. And same with music. At least that's the understanding of it that I have. I could be wrong, but that's from what I understand is how it works, right? Because it can't invent anything. It can't make anything new, at least, excuse me, at least at this point. But, who knows? Like
that's interesting, because think about your average photographer, like say they're a nature photographer and they love Ansel Adams, okay? And they study Ansel Adams. And the methods and the style that Ansel Adams used influences them to create something new. Is there a difference in between that or the machine going, okay, f-stop this, and, circle of what the hell confusion, right? The lens and this and the correct diameter of the, thinking about it as an engineer, but both are doing the same thing. They're looking to the past works of art to pull from that and create something new. I mean, everyone's influenced by the past.
Yeah, but it still lacks soul. But what you dude, you are 100% correct. And this is how we, who are any kind of artists, like I don't know if you know, but I'm also a musician. I'm a bass player. So I spent a lot of time when I wanted to learn how to play the bass, studying the greats on my art and playing jazz bass. So I spent many, many years transcribing and learning the bass lines of the great jazz bass players like Ron Carter, Ray Brown, and all of these people who kind of created the art form. But I might sound like them in some ways, and like when my colleagues hear me play, they can tell, hey, you're heavily influenced by Ray Brown, but I could never be them. It still sounds like me. So you're still bringing that. I don't whatever you believe, right? We have some kind of an essence or a soul that we have that I think that we bring to the art. So that's why even when you're influenced by others and your own art comes out of it, I mean, the day that the machines can do that, we just got to pack it up, man. We're in big trouble.
That's it. I'm out of here. See you later. Right, I'm out of here.
That's scary stuff, man.
This is so too deep. I mean, we've gone and by the way, before I go to the next topic, would you want to be on the Done Over Perfect podcast? I'd like to talk longer about this. This is really, I do these podcasts and I don't do them very often, but when I do them, they're really involved. Like I did the last one with Mike Spatola. It was a lot of fun, and love to have you on. If you're interested, let me know. I'd love to have you on. So Fujifilm, favorite lens for portraits?
I'm glad you asked me that. Okay, so I have two. Oh, I have a favorite lens, Fujifilm, but now I might have a new favorite. And
Okay, here it comes.
so
Here it comes.
after a long time of like thinking about it and just being like, nah, I'm not going to do that. I just bit the bullet and I bought a used 50 f1, which is right here on my
Oh, okay.
So,
Nice.
dude, I love this lens. So this is right now, this is my current favorite portrait lens. And it's so good because I also do like a lot of concert photography and low light photography, and it just crushes that. But
F1 though, I mean, how do you, what do you focus just in one eye? I mean, F1?
I love that. I will shoot. Well, so I'm trying to come up with like a good tagline for my YouTube channel. So it's shoot wide open, which is kind of silly, I know. But
shoot wide open.
That's what I say. So that's what I love to do. I love to shoot wide open. So I'll shoot portraits wide open f1, and if all I do is,
you've got guts, man. F1.
Well, this is in a studio setting, so I have a little bit more control.
Yeah.
So it's definitely harder if you're out on the field, right? You got to be real careful with that. But in the studio, I'm taking my time. It's like a nice pace. It's not like a fast pace thing usually. And so I shoot f1, and
wow.
The only thing I care about being in focus is whichever eye is closer to the film plane. So if I have someone who's dead on squared up to me, I'll usually focus on the camera right eye, which I think I'm pointing to, which is actually the left eye. Okay. But other than that, I just want the eye that's closest to me in focus, and I don't even care if it starts to fall off on the face. I think it makes for like a beautiful effect. Before this, the lens that I use probably the most.
You put it on this one right here? Face Eye Auto?
Exactly, yeah. So what I do on my camera is I have this top little button, this top custom button is set to turn on and off the eye focus.
Okay,
And I have the AE lock button to switch from the left to the right eye. So that's how
I hadn't thought of that. That's a great idea. So you could just boom, boom, boom. Oh, that's great. That's a great tip. Do a video on that. I might do that. It's a good idea. But I don't think I even thought of that. I'm pretty sure someone commented in one of my videos and said, you should do this. So thank you, whoever that was. I can't remember. See, you're pulling from the artists and creating your own thing. Right. Good for you.
This is still probably my favorite Fuji lens, though. This is the original 35 f1.4.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I love it. There's
nice.
Something magical about it. And what
Let me see. Can you hold it closer?
Yeah, sure. I have it on my XT4, if you can see that.
Yeah. Oh, that's just, boy, you keep your gear in good shape.
My XT4 is nice. My 5 is a little beat up. I got the silver, and it takes the scratches pretty easily. Like it's got like the tripod circle scratchy things on the bottom, and then
it's horrible.
But
I'm always
I know, man. I know that's silver,
like this. Hold on.
Exactly. But that just means you're using it. It's good.
Yeah. I mean, I've broken 3. I have 4 Fujifilm cameras, and 3 out of 4 of them I have broken the HDMI ports. I mean, there's something. We have a problem, Houston. We have a problem here. Fujifilm. Let's fix that, okay? Because these HDMI ports are weak. I mean, yeah.
I remember you did a video on that, if I remember correctly. Right. On vacation somewhere, right?
So, portraits are. I mean, really, when you get right down to it, what would you recommend someone who were to come to you and say, wow, I've been shooting portraits for a while, but my portraits just look like pictures of faces. It's missing the emotion. It's missing a story. Do you have like a tip, like anything that you would recommend to go to that next level? Because when I see your portraits, it is there. It is at that next level. And I want I'm going to put a link down below. I want the rest of you to look at his portraits, and you'll know what I'm talking about. But when you're shooting these people, you're actually behind, doing it. What is something that you do that takes it to that next level? Because you're doing something that I know I'm not doing, and a lot of other people probably aren't either. How do you do it? How do you do it? How do you get that emotion out?
I use fear and intimidation tactics.
Right. 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 Hey, I told you to sit down, you schmuck. Right.
It is New York, man.
Right.
Italian.
So you use fear and intimidation. Okay, I guess that would work, right? I mean,
no, actually, to be honest with you, a lot of it comes down to being yourself. So first of all, I got to tell you, and I'm sure you have had the same experience. I'm sure anyone who's photographed people outside of their immediate family has had this experience. If you've taken portraits of people, when you first do it, it is one of the most frightening things to do of all, because you have this person in front of you, especially if it's a stranger, and you're like in charge of figuring out how to get a photo that both you and they are going to like. So it was very scary at first. But what I learned quickly was a big part of getting a great expression out of people is putting them at ease, especially with headshots, because you're talking about, we work with a lot of corporate people. They don't like most of us don't like I don't like having my picture taken.
Oh,
right?
yeah. It's like right?
Yeah. It's like,
it.
The older you get too, it's like, whoa.
Yeah, it's horrible.
What I remember in the mirror. So,
right.
But like early on, I learned that if I just be myself and make it like a comfortable space for them, people will open up. But then I have some tricks I use with people, not tricks in a bad way, but like, for instance, I was on a corporate shoot where I was shooting like 50 people in a day. So it was like one of these like high capacities kind of things. And so I'm just going 5 minutes with each one. So you really don't have a lot of time to get the expression you need. And so I had this guy behind my camera, and he was all like tense, and he was like, oh, I'm sorry. And he was apologetic. He's like, I'm sorry, I'm just not comfortable, and this and that and this and that. And so I said, no worries. And I got him ready. I kind of posed him in the way that was the best spot for him. And then I said to him right before I fired the shutter, I said, so do you have any kids? And then immediately he just smiled, and I was like, boom, I caught it. And then the guy thought I was a genius after that. He was like, you just knew it, because he thought about his daughter, So like, connecting with people is what it's all about. To get the kind of intense expressions, again, I'm going to recommend that all of your viewers check out Ivan Weiss.
Ivan Weiss?
Yeah, Weiss. He's a London portrait photographer.
Okay.
Because he is able to capture this emotion from people that is just incredible. It's incredible. So I really do emulate, and I've learned a lot from him. But that's part of it, is making people comfortable, because obviously if you're comfortable in a situation, you're going to be yourself. And it's not about being fake or acting like a clown or whatever, but just being you. And people like connecting with people, right? And this is another thing, that, not to change gears, but going back to AI as well.
Right.
You're never going to get that from a machine. Like,
no, man, never.
About your daughter, how old is she?
Right.
Yeah. You're not gonna get that,
Sarah Connor.
Yeah.
May I see her, please?
Yeah. Listen, look how many years. How many years it took data to get his emotion chip, and then it was a disaster right away. So you
can't do it. There's just something that it's just not going to be there. I mean, yeah, wow. I mean,
it's connecting, man. It's all about connecting with people. It's all about shared human experience, and then sometimes, I mean, a lot of it also is coaching people. So sometimes I'll just tell people, like, I want you to give me like an intense expression, or I want you to, and a lot of this goes back to like the way Peter Hurley coaches people that I learned from him, is like telling people to just if you just tell someone to just push your eyebrows down just a little bit. Like if people do that, a lot of times, sometimes they'll look constipated, which isn't good, but lots of times you'll get like intense sort of expression for them. So
Yeah.
a lot of
Wow.
it's kind of knowing the faces and then knowing the angles as well. And then knowing that the person doesn't need to look at the camera for every portrait. Some of my favorite portraits that I've created, I have the subject looking off from the camera because I really like that. Because now it's like you're really glimpsing into what's happening into a scene instead of them connecting directly with you. It gives a little bit more mystery to like, well, what's happening in this person's life right now. It's pretty cool.
That's gold. Thank you, Pete. That is gold. And it's interesting because when I had talked to Sean Tucker about this and Michael Spatola, they said almost the identical same thing. You don't always have to have them looking at the camera, right? Looking away is better in some ways because what are they thinking about? What are they feeling? And you capture that emotion. Another thing is when people come for portraits, one of the reasons I love doing this is that a lot of times when people want a headshot or a portrait, they're in a transitional stage in their life. And so they will tell you, like I had a client who had cancer and they recovered. And the story they told me was just incredible. Like I was tearing up just hearing the story. And so they came to me because they wanted these new pictures because they finally started that business they always dreamed of doing. And they decide once they recovered, they were like, life's too short to just sit behind a desk. And so I'm going to do this. And so a lot of times they'll bring these stories to me. I mean, I had, and especially post-COVID, because right after the pandemic, how many people took stock on what they were doing and even had a great job, but were like, life's too short. I always want to be an actor. Like I've had clients like that. I was a stockbroker and I decided I got tired of it. Life's too short and I want to be an actor. Good for you. Good.
Yeah.
No,
really
man,
cool.
I love that. Wow. Did you take the Series 7 and 63 stuff? What was that? Those tests you have to take to be a broker? Those are hard. Those are hard.
I've never even thought about that kind of stuff.
Right, it's a nightmare.
Hey, man,
so
I can't.
No. Yeah, we got to get off the thing real quick here, especially with this audience. So, because we've got to get back to photography now. Question for you came up in the comments. When you're shooting portraits, are you looking mainly through the viewfinder or not, and at your subject, like without looking through the camera?
This is such a great question, and I am a Gen Xer, so I grew up, of course.
Me too.
Like where we both grew up with analog cameras. You had to use a viewfinder.
Yeah.
But that's not the only reason I do. It's not just like a habit thing. I always feel like you can't really see the critical details as well as you need to from the screen. So the only time I'll shoot from the screen, and I have to apologize to your viewers for what I'm about to do.
Okay.
Flippy screen.
Oh no! Actually, I love the flippy screen. I am a flippy screen. Put me in the flippy screen camp. Okay. Yeah, sorry, I got to see what I'm shooting when I'm doing these videos.
I'm neither here nor there on it. I like both. But the times where I'll use the flippy screen is only if I want to shoot from an angle,
right,
where I can't really get it. But and actually, I still like this is definitely better for that anyway. But like if I'm shooting from like a low angle and I want to really get it framed properly, then I'll do that. But 99% of the time, I prefer the viewfinder because I can see it's a full size image right in front of my eye of all the details. And for portrait photography, obviously those details are all critical. Not just the expression, but the thing that makes portrait photography very difficult is you also have to really have a strong eye on the hair, the clothing,
right,
makeup, like even if you have a collar out of skew, like these little things can really, especially if you're working with like executives and a lot of
right. So when you're shooting these executives, like at some point you're probably going to shoot the CEO, right?
Yeah.
Is it just a little bit fun kind of bossing them around? Excuse me. You have a little thing on your nose. Okay. Yeah. Can you fix that?
It's so
Right?
much fun, and I'll joke around with them, you know.
Right.
So they don't know what to expect, and so I don't know what to expect too, because a lot of times if I'm on location and I have like a large like a team of people, sometimes a guy will come in and I'll just get him behind the camera, a guy or a girl, and I'll get him behind the camera and I'll be like, all right, let me take some, and I'll be like joking with them, and I'll be like, trying, like one I use all the time is like, stop looking so miserable, or it's not, this,
Right.
I know this is this, pretend like this isn't the worst day of your life. And so they'll laugh and stuff. And then eventually I'll be like, so what do you do in the company? And then a lot of times after I've acted like kind of silly with them, they'll be like, I'm the CFO. Like, oh,
Right. I
I'm the
sign your
president.
check.
I'm like, oh, yeah, exactly.
Oh,
If you
Pete, man.
you're in trouble. Yeah.
Oh, jeez, that's insane. And I'm seeing a lot of questions here. Hold on, let me see if we can get to just a couple of these. Because
Okay.
I mean, we should do it done over perfect, because we can have like plenty of time to do it. Flip screen. This lot of comments about the flip screen. Okay, so put a couple of questions. I don't know if I'll be able to get to them because we don't have a whole lot of time. Let's see. We got the one I asked you. Eye switching the button. Yeah, a lot of people like the button tip you gave for sure.
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
Is that all the time, all the time. And that's one of the great things, obviously, as we all know about Fujifilm, right? It's so customizable with the buttons.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, no doubt. Now, zone, or do you do spot?
I switch, I go back and forth. I
Yeah.
still feel like, and this, I don't know, I don't think this is really a Fujifilm particular thing with the autofocus, because I know even with Canon, I'll have the same kind of issues. Is it's weird. It's like sometimes if you use face, like face priority with the eye, eye select
Yep.
focus, it just finds it. But then it feels like some other times it doesn't want to find it unless it's in the zone. Uh,
Right.
it's weird. I don't know. Maybe it could just be my user error, but I get a little like what, so generally if I'm doing portraits, I'll have like a large zone and then just have it on, on like subject detect, people detect with the eye detect.
Okay.
And it works great in, the XT5 works great in, I've done that with sports. It's done a great job too. XT4, as you know, autofocus is it's not the greatest, but for portraits in my studio, it's just fine.
Right. Uh, I was going to make a video called "Getting in the Zone," and actually all about just zone. Lots of
Yeah,
tips and tricks. Just haven't gotten around to it. Hey, Omar, if you want to make it, you go right ahead. If you want to beat me to it,
yeah,
because
that's good.
he makes great content too, man. Omar is awesome.
Oh yeah, love
What's,
this stuff.
do you like doing YouTube? Just, I mean, is it hard? Do you find it hard? What do you think of
I
it?
I love it. I mean, I
Yeah,
love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. The hard part about it,
you're good at it. I'll tell you that. You're very good at
and
it.
you have no idea how much that means to me. I
Yeah,
appreciate that
yeah.
so much.
By the way, go subscribe to his channel before the sun sets today. I mean, we'll finish watching this and then go do it.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Dude, I love doing it, and the thing that's so great about YouTube is most people are super positive. Like we all get negative comments, right? Like it
Yeah,
happens to everybody,
yeah,
and those negative comments usually kind of stick to you at first, but 99.9 of the percent of the people who watch and comment on my videos are just like the kindest people, and you know it too. And I've made so many, like I have legitimate great friends that I've made through YouTube who live all over the world through
yeah.
finding through the content. I just think it's so awesome, and a lot of these guys I will like. We message through Instagram and we talk about photography, and it's just super cool.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
I love that. And you know what I do? I learned a really cool trick from Jared Poland. So
Oh, what's
when
that?
when he gets like a nasty comment,
Yeah,
he'll troll comment back to whoever is giving him a nasty comment,
right.
and then he posts it as a story on his Instagram.
Oh, does he really?
Yeah, so I do that sometimes too, and because I'll just respond kind of like just jokingly, because you
Yeah.
can't, once you know how it is, like if someone gives you some weird nasty comment and you get into it with them,
No,
yeah, it's
you'll
not
never
worth.
win. you'll never win.
But
I'll tell you though,
it's hard though. It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. It is. And the comments, the hard ones aren't the nasty ones for me. The hard ones, the ones that sting, are the comments where someone will say something like, "Hey, pal2tech, I've been a member and viewer of your channel for a number of years, but I gotta say your videos aren't as good lately." I mean, they're nice about it, but they're saying something that sucks, right? I mean, that's hard. But it's important to get that, I think. But it's like you said, it's hard doing YouTube. For me, it's the hardest thing I've ever done. It's very hard.
I agree, and it's just such a huge time commitment. It's kind of like it's always ever present in your mind. Got to make another video.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I could talk to you about just YouTube for the next 6 hours. So, but what I think we should do is, if you don't mind, if you could send me the links and all that. But for those of you listening right now, Pete, why don't you say your domain, your website?
So my website is PeteCocoPhoto.com. Okay. My YouTube channel is at Pete Coco Photography, and it's PETECOCO.
Okay.
And then I'm on Instagram at Pete Coco Photo, and I'm on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, at Pete Coco Photo, which I know we've talked a little bit about that too, Chris, about kind of like seeing what's going to happen there. Can it become something that's sort of a platform for content creators? I don't know. I don't know. It's like some days I feel very hopeful about it, and the other days I'm like, this ain't going anywhere. So I don't know yet.
I know. And I finally made my peace with it about 3 weeks ago, and I figured, look, I'm just going to have fun. And if no one's watching, well, okay. But I love teaching, so I'm just, the hell with the algorithm.
Yeah.
But please give it the like and subscribe. It does help. It's this duality of, I don't care about the, well, you kind of do. Well, no, I don't, but you do. It's hard. Yeah. It's hard. But I want to have you back. I so badly. And I want to do this as a regular thing. What do you all think about, having photographers jump on these streams, and we do kind of a back and forth, bad idea, good idea? I mean, Pete's awesome, and I don't know if future ones would be as awesome, but I would love to do it. And
probably won't be, but it's worth a try.
Right, it's worth a shot. And I will definitely be going back to New York. That I promise you. And I would love to get together, get you a couple of beers, New York City or Long Island. I'll go out to Long Island, sure.
I'll come into the city, trust me.
Yeah, I know. Wow,
Unless
man.
Come out to my studio, Chris, we could do some amazing portraits.
Oh, I'd love that. So I want you all to just go, just inundate his account, say, pal2tech says hi, just go comment on his videos. But Pete, thank you so much for your time. And I know you are really busy, and I really appreciate you joining the stream. And I think, if you're interested, I would love to just connect with you and talk more about AI, more about technique, more about the gear, more about the future of where you think portrait photography is going. There's so much I want to, just hear what you think of with that. So
definitely. Yeah. Well, Chris, thank you so much. It means so much to me that you reached out to me to do this. Like I said at the beginning, I'm just such a huge fan of yours.
Thank you.
And I appreciate you so much. And like, you really, for me, you're like the benchmark of what we should be doing as YouTubers. So thank you, man, very, very much.
Well, I will be watching you closely. When you get to that 100,000, we're going to do big celebrations. So,
yeah, dude.
All right, man. So let me figure okay, so how does this work? Like you sign off and then I guess the screen goes This will be another challenge. Okay, here we go.
I got a little hang up. I'm going to click on my little hang up.
Okay. Bye, Pete.
Bye,
Goodbye. Everyone. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Can I make it work? Oh, hey. Wow. Okay. It's just me. All right. Wasn't he great? I love having guests on. I mean, seriously. And for those of you watching, if you've been kind of like stuck in a rut, you got to connect with people because it brings out just this energy, right? That you don't necessarily have when you're locked in a studio, right? For 3 days straight. making videos or shooting photos. All right, I got to get back to, hold on a second. I got to do a little housekeeping here. Okay, let me go back here. First of all, Christopher Wu. Wow. Now, I don't know what this even means. Gifted 5 pal2tech memberships. I guess, is that to the YouTube channel? Thank you. That's awesome. Great. I guess so somebody could then become a member based on what you've purchased for them. So, wow, that's a really nice thing you did. Thank you. Okay, so we got Jim Kilgo. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. Wow, this is such a big help. And Mr. Jarble, what are you doing? You already helped out. 10 memberships Mr. Jarble has. That is awesome. And we got to connect. We're going to do a one-on-one. I got some ideas for you. I have been following your YouTube channel, and yeah, I think we can... Couple of things I think are going to make it real easy for you to have better audio and a more relaxed way of looking at the camera. So I got some ideas for you. So take me up on it. Reach out on Discord, okay? And thank you for the memberships. I really appreciate that. All right. So let me get back to the chat. Next guest, Omar. We'll see. I would love to have Omar. Hey, Omar, hop in, man. Any Friday, I do it at 5 p.m. Eastern. Would love to have you on. Anytime, pal. Okay. So Natalie says it's like Twitch, like I know all these things. No, that's true. Okay, so members can give subs for a month. Okay, cool. That's awesome. Mr. Jarble sent 20. Okay, wow. That's my head spinning. Really, thank you. It's almost overwhelming for me. I kind of, it's thank you. All right. So Pete, thank you. I see your comment. Let me go back a little bit. I didn't want to miss, we had a bunch of comments and I didn't even see them because I'm focused on Pete, but I will absolutely go through all of these comments. It's my tradition after a live stream, not right after, because I'm usually going to go have a glass of wine, but later that night, I get a text file that gets generated and I can see all the comments, and late at night I read them. But I will read all the comments on here. So if there's any questions you have or anything you want to say, I will see it. All right. So hello, greetings from Germany. Hi, Powerland. Good to see you. Got lots of people here. Okay. So let me get back on track because I'm going to have to, actually, I'm 7 minutes behind schedule. And yeah, I got lots to do. The only other thing I wanted to tell you was I just wanted to get back to what I was saying about the channel, a few updates, okay? I said going to be more fun, so we talked about that. The other thing is I'm very committed to one video a week on Friday, and that really is an important thing. So I've already kept to that now for over a month, and I'm continuing. Even, listen, the video I put out this morning, the Fast Friday, if this were any other time in the last 4 years, I would have not done a video, and I was exhausted. I didn't write a script for it. I did it totally off the top of my head. I don't know if you could tell that, but I was tired. I didn't have time to do it, but I did it, right? So my commitment is, even if I don't have a video finished, I want to connect with you on Friday, even if I have to plop down here, and say, sorry, I don't have a video. Let's talk about the molar volume of hydrogen, or I have an idea. I will, we're going to do a classroom reading of one of my favorite books, right? I mean, we'll do something fun, but the point is to be consistent. So that's on the plan for the channel. Done Over Perfect to keep connecting with other photographers, filmmakers, and creatives. That is also a big part of it. In terms of upcoming videos, I do have some upcoming videos to talk to you about. Okay, so the Flash series. Yes, I know. I have a part 4 to do. I'm going to do that ahead of the Capture One. All right, because right now I do have a whole series on Capture One. It's an older version of it, but it's enough to get you started with Capture One. But the Flash is really important. So yes, that's one of the high priority video items to get done. The other one is global shutter. I have written the script for it, but I'm at that point in the video where it's very dry. And I don't have a box of cereal available because that's not a good way to explain global shutter, but I have some other ideas for that. So I'm working on making that a little bit more accessible to people who don't understand global shutter. And by the time you're done watching that video, you'll be an expert at it. So that's in the works right now. We're obviously going to have a whole watch party for the Fujifilm Summit. I have a GFX 102 review. I have shot all the footage on it. I have written pretty much the entire script, but there's a number of raw files I need to go through to make sure and to cross-check if what I'm saying is accurate, because I don't have the camera anymore. So I get real nervous about making sure it's correct. So I am working on that. That is in the works. I have a Zhiyun G200 light review I want to do. Very important. It's a wonderful light. I want to tell you about it. And then I have this other device that is from Ulanzi, and they sent it here. I didn't ask for it. It just arrived, and it creates smoke, but it's it's like a portable USB device that creates smoke for your photography and videos. It's really cool. And I want to kind of do a quick review on that. So I'm working on that as well. And I think right now one other thing. I've seen a lot of videos on, I'm going to end with this and then I'm going to go. I've seen a lot of videos on how to photograph your children. And I want to make a video about that. Now, if you don't have kids, bear with me for just a minute. If you do have kids, you'll probably get what I'm saying. A lot of how to photograph kids they focus on the techniques, right, of the cameras and things like that. And I do want to talk about that. But I feel that I couldn't make this video or I couldn't teach this subject until now. Both my kids are not really kids anymore. They're teenagers. They're going to be driving. And I have a perspective that I want to share. And I have some great ideas that I learned along the way that I wish so badly someone had shared with me when I got started with a 1, 2, 3, 4-year-old all the way up, because it's a different style of photography as they grow up. And it's a personal subject for me. So anyway, that's a video that I was going to produce and publish today, and I didn't want to rush it. I know what I want to say. I know all the things I want to talk about, but it's so important. I want the advice. I want potential parents to walk away from that video and maybe 20 years from now say, I am so glad I saw this. It helped me so much. And because it's a really important subject. So that's coming. Okay. That's coming. And I think we're done. Yeah. So the next live stream is going to be not next Friday, not this coming Friday, not a week from today, but the following, every 2 weeks. Okay. So it will be, let me pull up a calendar. I think I can make that work on this computer. All right. So the next live stream for this channel, put it in your calendars, will be Friday, February 16th, 5 p.m. Okay. Love to have you there. And then that will be the last live stream before the big Fuji thing event. Okay. And we will be doing a watch party. It'll be that, I guess, yeah, it'll be just a few days later on Tuesday, the 20th. So lots to do, folks. Lots to do. If you haven't seen today's video, go check it out. It's interesting. A lot of people didn't know about the clarity issue on the cameras, can slow it down. So yeah. And let me check in on the comments. This is the part of the live stream I hate the most, is having to kind of say goodbye. I wish I could just stay here, but I can't. Okay. Yeah, Dimitri, your kids are driving already. Yeah, see, that's like a reality I'm having trouble with. That's one of many realities I'm having trouble with. Okay, Michelle, you are going to get help with the flash, okay? Ken, thank you. Only 93 likes? What's the matter with you? You got to give it the like and subscribe. Okay, so we got Miles. Hey, man, how you doing? Good to see you. I'm really glad you showed up. Really, I hope the video is going well. Yes, it is time for a beer. I don't know if you just dropped in or not, but wind this video back. We had a special guest drop in the very beginning. Okay, folks. It's been real. It's been fun. And I will see you soon. This is the part where I stare at this thing and go, how the hell do I make the thing, boom, give it the like and subscribe. And, yeah. Wait, stop with the super chat. Wait a minute. Super chats are coming in. Grady, welcome. New member. Hold on. Hey, Grady, welcome. Welcome. Thank you. Mike M, a beer and a hug. That would be awesome. Thank you. That's better than the money. I'd rather have the beer and the hug, especially the beer. So, all right, everyone, I'm going to get going. Thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful weekend. And of course, I'll see you next week in a video. Take care.